Okay, everybody, it is me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Monday, August 23rd, 2021. Are you seeing the setup for the market this morning? Cryptos, gold, silver, crude oil, the 10-year yield. It's pretty epic, people. Let's talk about that. All right. So right now, stock futures are higher across the board, pointing towards a higher open for the market. Trading doesn't start for about 40 minutes. Okay, lovely. What else do we need to look at? I think you know if you follow this blog. What's the 10-year yield doing? That's pretty much the key, isn't it? The 10-year yield is 1.27. It's stable. The market's liking this. The dollar, lower. Market's liking that too. And crude oil is higher by over 3%. Yeah, this is making the stock market giddy. Also, what else is making the stock market giddy? Well, the same narrative we've been hearing out of Fed President Kaplan. Imagine my surprise. The Federal Reserve is more than likely going to be reevaluating when it's going to start tapering. The market loves to hear that. No surprise to any of you who follow this blog. It's absolutely out of control here. Forget about it. Forget about it. So, with that said, we have a market poised for a higher open on the back of a weaker dollar, a stable 10-year yield, crude oil ripping higher over 3%, and the Federal Reserve's balance sheet that's going to continue to skyrocket. You can't possibly imagine how surprised I am about these things. Who would have guessed? Who would have put this together in their head? I don't know. Maybe you and me. Yeah, you and me, exactly. Anyway, let us move forward here. Gold and silver doing really well this morning, both catching a very large bid. Now, cryptocurrencies, people, as I've been telling you for I don't know how long, weeks, since the low, have been surging higher. Bitcoin is like 70% higher off the low. Dash is taking off. The cryptocurrency space is on fire right now. It really is. And this is, again, no surprise to a single one of you who follow this blog. Oh, it's a big shock to those who follow some other YouTube channels and some other very misinformed people out here. Oh, it's going to zero. This is it. It's over. You all missed the boat yet again, and I hate that. I really do. Look, I'm trying to help all of you. That's the truth. Even those of you that don't like me for whatever reason, I kept telling you you're going to be wrong. With crypto, you didn't believe me because you're listening to someone who you think, I guess, is, I don't know, smarter than me when it comes to the crypto space. And obviously you were wrong yet again. And I hate that. I hate it. I hate it. That's the truth. Anyway, so with that said, people, look, all I can do for you is tell you where the opportunities are in my view, okay? Always do your own research, and then don't just sit back and do nothing. You need to take action. This blog, like I've said a million times, is for people who understand where the opportunities are and take action. Look, I understand with regard to the stock market that it's in la land. It is a hyper bubble. It is going to face a moment of reckoning that is going to literally be biblical at one point. But you got to stop thinking that, oh, it's going to be tomorrow because you got this person telling you that and then got this person telling you this. Use your own intellect. Use the information I give you here in this blog. I'm telling you where to look. I have it all set up for you right here on my website. You can track it in real time. The 10-year yield is key, people. You know that. As long as that 10-year yield stays stable, I don't even care what comes out of the mouth of the Federal Reserve. Let's just put a hypothetical out here. Let's do that just for fun. Let's say next week the Federal Reserve says, we're going to start to taper. Okay, what would Greg Mannarino do? Would I panic? Would I get all afraid and scared? No. I would look over at the 10-year yield. Okay, the Federal Reserve is saying this. But what is the 10-year yield doing? If the 10-year yield were to remain stable, as the Federal Reserve is saying whatever spewing dog shit wrapped in cat shit is coming out of their mouths, then I don't give a damn. Okay, all I'm concerned with is how the debt market is going to react, because the Fed can say what they want to. What they say and what they do are totally different things. We've seen this before. Remember when the Fed said they were stopping tapering years ago? Oh, we've stopped quantitative easing. They never stopped. Never. It was a lie. They were backdoor QE easing, straight up the wazoo. But you weren't supposed to know that. It was all a lie. They never stopped. Never. Anyway, of course, I would look over at the dollar as well. But that's the way it works here. So again, understanding that the stock market itself is a derivative or derives value from other things, 10-year yield, in other words, what the debt market's doing, the dollar, crude oil, and the Fed's balance sheet, I don't care. I ignore the people with the crash warnings and everything else because they're deluded and they're retarded. They don't know what they're doing or talking about. Okay, no one can predict when the market's going to do this, that, or the other thing, but we can have a really, really good idea by just understanding those four dynamics that I outline for you every freaking day. So many YouTubers and so-called experts have been out here explaining that we've hit a market top and the market's going to crash and this is that, and they've hurt a lot of people. Not me. I've kept you all on the right side of this. I told you to ignore the dog shit coming out of these people's mouths. I don't know what they're trying to do. Okay, I do make you aware of things like the Hindenburg omen I spoke about the other day, but I also told you I don't even care what the Hindenburg omen or the Exorcist omen or whatever it might be. I'm looking over at the debt market. I'm looking over at the dollar. And people, I talk to everybody. You don't understand. I don't know the way to put this. I do not trade on inside information, okay? But with regard to this market, look at my track record. Look at crypto. I told all of you at the low that it was going higher. I explained to you that I had knowledge that a major Wall Street bank was buying this stuff. I shared this with all of you. Henceforth, we are up staggering amounts on cryptos, and they're going much higher. Now, with regard to crude oil here, yeah, we had a recent short-term top, if you want to call that. So maybe Jim Cramer was right. It was a short-term top. He didn't say that. He said it was a top. It was not a top, okay? Crude oil have fallen. They've consolidated. I think they're forming a new floor, and they're going to take off. Let's give this some time. Understand, and you know this, okay? Without crude oil moving higher, the stock market's dead. It's dead in the water. It's the lifeblood of the market. It's the lifeblood of the military-industrial complex. They're going to prop it up. No, by some mechanism, they're going to prop it up. And it's the Wall Street banks that are invested beyond their freaking eyeballs. I say the same things all the time. In crude. You're not allowed to know that the investment banks are loaded up on crude oil futures like you have no idea. It's insane, okay? And they're not going to lose. Oh, they'll let everyone else lose, but they're not going to lose. So that's how we know we're on the right side of this entire thing. So anyway, like I said, stocks are pointing towards a higher open, stable 10-year yield. Dollar weaker, crude oil 3% higher right now. Pretty wild. Gold and silver catching a bit. Cryptos are doing very, very well, and they're going much higher as well. That's really the setup. The Federal Reserve and tapering or backing off of asset purchases, I don't care what they say. They can say whatever they want because you see, this guy here knows where to look. Yellowstain himself could knock on my door today. Knock on my door and say, Greg, I want to have a little sit down with you. I would say, sure, creature. Why don't you come in? Hemlock? Would you like some? Anyway. So yeah, I would sit down with the guy. Yeah, Greg, we're going to start tapering next week. Good for you. Great. Okay. Let me see what the market's telling me is actually happening, not what's coming out of this thing's disgusting vomitous mouth. I don't trust him. Do you trust him? I don't think you do. Anyway, people, so that's it. Look, a lot of stuff here in this video. Very important. I think we got this market and everything connected to it. It's a lock. It's a lock for us because we can literally see the future, okay? We can see the future by understanding the dynamics, what's in play, and then we can take advantage of it. That's what this is all about. I'm not sitting here having fun, although I do enjoy doing this. I'm doing this because I want you. I'm winning anyway. You all know that. I want you to win. I want you to win so big I can taste it. Anyway, look, I'm out of here. Please share this video. Love you a lot. I'll see you at the end of the day.